You're right. Well, I think that's an entire show, and I would love to have you come in the studio and do that show. But what I'm gonna ask you to do, because there's one more issue that we need to clear up, and that is that police stop that I have. So I'm gonna ask you to hold on while we take a quick drop. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Eric Dawson Radio Show on 94.3 FM.
Hey, this is Eric Dawson. This is the Eric Dawson Show. I'm on the phone with my brother Hanif. Listen through your mobile device, 213-493-0287, or you can tune into our website, www.mysplashradio.com. So, as I was saying to you guys earlier, I was driving up the road on Bloomfield Avenue had my drive back brake light out. I guess you only got back brake lights, right? So, but I had my brake light out on the left-hand side, and I had the brake light out in the middle, the one that's above the hatch on my Jeep. And so I was pulled over, and I was jamming to some house music too, man. And I look up and I see the lights. So I turn on the light without telling people to do. Turn on all my interior lights. I roll down all of my windows so that the police, when they approach the vehicle, they can see inside the vehicle clearly. I turn off the car so they have no thought that I might be pulling away from them, right? It's dangerous to do that, and then set me on my way with just a warning on the page, and I got mixed reviews, and some of those came from Honey. So, Honey, what is wrong with what I did? Honey, I don't know what the brother is. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, no worries, no worries. And yeah. A couple of things. Just points of clarity. Yeah, when you understand, and I don't know if you've ever talked to police officers, but the ones that I talk to, they say stops after 1 a.m. in the morning are some of the more dangerous or potentially dangerous stops. They say that. Have they told you that? Okay. Let me. No, but no, I never said, and I cleared that up, right? Because I think at one point you said that I never mentioned anything about killing. I said, well, see, no, all right. Well, it could be a lot of things, right? And so let's explore those for a second. And I want to go back by asking the question again. Um, the officers that I've spoken to, and I thought I was going to have a sergeant call in tonight, but he was busy. But 1 o'clock a.m. stops, right? And they have statistics that they're looking at. So they say when we make a stop at one, there's a greater likelihood of there being an issue when we're making a stop between these hours. So that's how they're operating, right? Do we do it? No. I agree. We agree on that point. But so you know that the officer is alert of anxiety. Right. Okay. Right. And so now when you say that you understand that, but you're not willing to do, not that you have to do, but that you're not willing to do anything that you can do for this officer to ease his heightened anxiety. That you look and you no. But we're not talking about jobs. We're talking common sense here for a second, right? Okay. Okay. No. No. But we agree on that. I'm not disagreeing with you. The is whatever the obligation be, like, comply to. I get you. But right now, I'm not talking about pulling out a law book and then going through what your constitutional rights are. I'm saying if we understate in the hours of 1 a.m. and before the sun comes up, that officers, based on that they look at every day, something, and then you calm them down, and you got them, in a better state of mind. You never. No, no, it's just a simple question. Okay, so what's the difference? Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, okay. Okay. So when somebody's not doing, go ahead. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. 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 Really? Well, let me ask you a question. Well, I got a question for you. Honey, honey, I got a question. Honey, I got a question for you, right? No, 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 no. So I didn't, no, no, I didn't know why. No, 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 honey, I didn't know why I got stopped, right? So, no, no, honey, can I finish, right? So I'm just gonna float out a scenario for you. A burgundy. What if there was a child abducted? Amber Alert went out, and it was for 99, which is my car, you radio. And so the officer pulled me over and then said, the reason I pulled you over is because we got an Amber Alert that it was a burgundy thing, and we just wanted to make sure that that baby, we're trying to find that baby. I would want, I mean, I wouldn't want them to want to do that. I'd be agitated then that they pull me over. Is that what you're saying? Exactly. Which, but before I know it, wait, let me wait. No, no, I need to make this point. I need to make this. Okay. I didn't know, but I gave it. But remember, I was talking about glass half full and half empty earlier. I mean, I'm agitated. No, I wasn't agitated. I post, but but it could have been anything. My state of mind was half. State of mind was, honey. Mhm. No, no, that's not what I was thinking, honey. That's my point to you. See, honey, honey. Well, I was gonna, honey, if I was gonna answer your question, right? So when I get pulled over, because I am a law-abiding citizen, right? And I'll know if I run a light. I'm not. There's no anxiety. I knew I ran a light. So I'm waiting for him to give me a ticket. But you know what I'm gonna do when he comes up? I'm gonna be extra polite because I'm hoping he doesn't give me the ticket that I know I deserve. See, so but let me finish before you interrupt me. When a police officer pulls me over, I'm always glass half full, not glass half empty. Well, it was a she actually who came to the driver's side. When she pulled me over, I had no idea. Like I said, I was dancing to house music in my car on my way home from seeing my best friend of 40 years who I had just picked up and dropped off from the Newark airport. So I was in a glorious mood. So when the officer pulled me over, I had no idea why they stopped me. So, but what I did know is that the time frame was it was 2:08, and so in my mind, the very first thing that I thought about was the officer. I said, the officer, based on what my family and friends tell me, that this officer is going to have a heightened sense of alert because the stop is at 2:08. What can I do to alleviate that anxiety? And so I said, I can roll my. Wait a minute. So I'm not obligated to. I'm not obligated to. You're 100% right. But you know what else? If an old lady is walking across the street and she drops her cane, I'm not obligated to pick it up. But I do. I'm not obligated to open the door I need for people. But I do. I'm not obligated to do any of those things. Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I, that's absolutely correct. And I'm giving you, I'm clapping because now we're where I want to be in the conversation about perception, right? And it's all about experience. but it has nothing to do with the fact that we see. Listen, there's some people who grew up in a household where they never taught thank you and please, right? But it doesn't mean that those social mores shouldn't be followed. Try to get those people there. We should try to elevate them to a point where they're saying thank you, and where they're saying please, and they're saying you're welcome. We should try to get them there. No, no. Hmm. You know, Hanif, you're right, and and you're 100% right. So now we get to why I posted what I posted, because I know the police have so much work to do. They have a lot of work to do to heal what they've done in these communities. What we don't need, or what we need more of, rather, we need more people posting good experiences with police officers, so people understand and see that side too. See, if all we're posting is, well, see, this cop did that, and that cop did that, and this other one did that, then I think that we just inundate ourselves with this negativity. I think when you do have those, and I'm not saying that we ignore the bad, deal with that. But if we don't look and say, you know what, here's a blueprint, right? To say, you know what, we should not lose our humanity in the midst of trying to resolve this really messed up issue. And to get it to where my grandmother used to say it, right? She said, baby, I'm gonna teach you manners. And irrespective of how other people behave, don't lose sight of your manners. Mhm. I don't dis. No, I don't dis. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're correct there too. No, no. Well, okay. So, no, no. Okay. But now I want you to understand. But I want you to understand now.
There's no incident, and there's still a problem because the public knows
When
that
he's
they're
done, we're gonna take a break,
and that's
right?
that's the
And then when we come back from the break,
police
I'll wind up this conversation.
town. Try Caribbean and American cuisine, all controlled by blacks. He's at master control and head chef. He's bringing to you his own creative style of cooking in a unique way with pit open fire grilled chicken, roast, steam, fry, or brunch.
You can bring people around without arguing.
Right.
See, you know, but it's crazy the mindset that I'm just gonna be antagonistic, even though I know that
Just want to make an argument.
right, and I know that the cop is upset. I know that has heightened anxiety. I know all of these things. You know what I'm gonna do? Like kindling, I'm gonna take a match and throw it on me.
Right.
Crazy. Everything you said is what my parents taught me in my community.
News and information. Only Eric can give it to you like this. It's the Eric Dawson Radio Show on Splash Radio.
Hey, this is Eric Dawson. This is the Eric Dawson Show, 94.3 FM. I was glad to have Hanif call in, and it was a vibrant conversation. And I hope that he calls in again because we do need to deal with this. There are multiple, views about how to deal with police officers. And what I got out of the end of this is that there are some issues in the community, and so because folks feel a particular way about what's going on in the community, you can just have them set that up there over here. Yeah. I got KEYON CORNIFFE in the building, and we're going to talk finances in a second. I just want to just tie this last piece up. That yeah, you may be angry, but I want you to think about this, right? When you're upset and you bring that energy, what outcome do you expect? And so I want a pleasant outcome. I want and this is the other thing. The last point that I want to make on this is a huge issue. Is did you know that there's so many things that a police officer can use to give you a ticket? I mean, little things. Like I had mail on my dashboard. Do you know you're not supposed to have anything on your dashboard? Nothing. It impedes they say it impedes your vision, right? So they can give you a ticket for that. They can give you a ticket for having an air freshener hanging from your rearview mirror. They give you a ticket for that. There's so many things they can give you a ticket for that you don't usually get tickets for. So I'm not trying to have a nitpicky police officer, and that's just my thing. But thank you, honey, for calling in. And right now, I want to welcome to the show as he's getting his Facebook live stream thing going. I want to welcome KEYON CORNIFFE to the show. Raymond Moore, is you? Hey, listen, I keep it real, man. The brother was here, and I apologize. You guys are partners? Yes. Okay. Yes. And I neglected to ask your name. That was very rude of me, and I'm sorry, Raymond. But I have Raymond Moore and KEYON CORNIFFE here, and we're going to be talking finances, folks. Last week's show was amazing, and at some point we got to take some sort of a promo shot so that I can advertise it properly, and we'll get that done. Was a hit. And so I'm gonna let you talk to these folks, man, because they need it.
Right. And that's one of the most important things in today's day is understanding different things. And I'm definitely a big supporter of Eric Dawson here for giving us the opportunity with Splash Radio. And it's so important that you guys focus on the community. The fact that we're on the same mission, in different teams, but same mission. So we're moving as one. And I love the topic that you choose this week too, that we came up with about life insurance. And why is life insurance so important? Because most of us don't understand why is this so important. What is the main reason of understanding life insurance? Here are some facts that I want you guys to think about for a little bit. I want you to think about the understanding of life insurance. You see, today's people have all kind of insurance. They use home insurance, right? They insure their house, they insure their cars, they insure their phones, they insure their appliance, and they also even get travelers insurance, but yet still they won't have insurance on their families, which is the most important thing. Why is that? There's so much skepticism towards life insurance. And I always had a big issue on that. Like, you would have insurance on a cell phone, insurance on yourself. But the funny thing is you understand how it works, because if your phone breaks and you have insurance, well, you get a new phone, right? But if you die and you was to get a new life for a certain amount of coverage, would you get life insurance? You think most people would?
I don't think they do, man. I don't think they value. I don't think they value life insurance. We in our community are very immediate.
Yeah.
Right. So we try to take care of things that are immediate for us, and in taking care of. Oh, don't worry about that. We keep. OB. Go get it. They went outside.
We're bridging the gap. Seriously. Splash Radio 94.3 New Jersey.
Hey, so that was our break, and we got caught in a break. So go ahead, finish your thought.
Now, I was just saying that too many of us you and the importance in life insurance. You know, how is it that we understand the concept of replacing a phone based on one being damaged on the phone, on the car, all of these different things, but yet still we don't understand why we should have it on our lives. Now, here's a reason why you should have it on your life. Now, yes, you're right if you're listening that it will not replace you being there physically, but you know the one thing it does replace? Your income.
Well, but again, people don't think about that, right? Their thought usually is around the pay.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, most folks don't have more than 1 week's worth of pay in their savings account. I mean, a lot of them don't even have savings accounts. A lot of them have checking accounts, and bills are late. They're
Right.
paying half on phone bills. And I get what you're saying, and I agree, which is why I'm so thrilled that you're on the show, because people need to understand that, we get jammed up.
Right.
I can't tell you the number of, and I'm sick of it. I mean, I'm glad that we have technology, we have things like GoFundMe, but I'm sick of seeing in our community that you have so many people who have to start these GoFundMe accounts
Oh man,
because a loved one died, right? And they're not prepared to pay the insurance on the funeral costs.
man, I'm a GoFundMe, especially when it comes down to funerals. For these
Right.
reasons, we should not wait till last minute to put a burden not only on your family but onto others by having us feeling sorry and pity upon
Right.
because of your lack of responsibilities. When we always say, don't get a GoFundMe, but fund yourself. Go fund yourself, right? Because it doesn't take much for someone and show them how to get insurance for $20 a month. If you talking about some different cash values that you want, we could talk about different numbers based on your budgets.
Right.
It doesn't take much. If you could save, let me make this very clear. If anyone that's listening or watching on our Facebooks right now, or YouTube, wherever you're tuning in from, if you could save $25 a month, because we spend that easily in these parties that we go into on the weekends, during the week buying the fast food, and on them Jordans that we buy in our kids that they don't need, that they're gonna outgrow.
So when we say $25 a week, I mean $25 a week. Did you say a month?
To save $25 a week to save.
So 25 a week. I mean, if we're counting business days, and we're saying $5 a day, right?
Right.
If we're expanding that to a full calendar week, then we're talking a little bit over, like less than like $3.50 a day, right?
Easily.
And what does a bag of potato chips cost now? I know, for instance, when I go and buy, I like those Doritos, the one in the purple bag. That bag costs almost $3.90. Well, you can go to the dollar store and get a little cheaper, right? But
Get it for $1.99.
yeah, get it for one. But still, by the time you do that, you get something else, and so you can cut back on these things, right?
Yeah. Just making small sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Small sacrifices that will not only pay off 30 years from now. Remember the last time I was here, I told you that $10 a day for that'd be 300 a month, $10 a day. Do that for 30 years at an 8% rate of return compounded. You would have $447,000 in that account if you were just saving that. What if I was to tell you that you could get tax-free money from life insurance? Tax-free.
Oh, well, okay. So you're gonna break that down in this episode, or
Man.
you can't? Is that another episode that we have to tell people?
Let me say, when I break that down, matter of fact, let me break it down even easy right now.
Okay.
Right? Let's talk about cash value. Right? There's different type of insurance. You have insurance that are term. You have insurance that are long term. There's insurance that are mid-term. So when you have people talk about insurance, let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a permanent insurance. There is either short-term, mid-term, and long-term. So all insurance are term. Don't let nobody fool you and tell you that there's a long-term and there's a permanent insurance. There's no such thing as permanent.
Well, you know, did I tell you that I had gone to, I forgot one of these schools, man, and I had gotten my license to do to be a producer.
Yes,
Right?
producer license.
Right, a producer's license, and I never used it, but I just
What?
wanted to have it. Yeah, man, I know.
Not
And I went through
that's
that
a use.
I went through that grueling exam too, man. That was brutal. I failed this. I failed the exam the first time, but I
Right.
came back and I passed it. You know, I just wanted to have a better understanding of the whole, you know, insurance thing. And I was always told, you know, you have short-term and long-term insurance, and that you should
Mhm.
always get short-term insurance and invest the difference. Is that correct?
Oh, now you're touching on this. You see the good thing where I'm getting on where I'm talking from, right? I could talk in freestyle.
Yeah, let's show them your
But-
book. Let's
but
show them your book, man. We
The
gonna
finance one-on-one
show
book.
them there we go.
This book right here will change your life. I'm talking straight out of this book. This is where I learned it from. If you need a copy of this book, you can either post it on my man right here, Eric Dawson's page,
That would be me.
email address, and post your email address underneath this video, and I get you a copy of this book. Also, for anybody else watching over here, and because this book, look how this book is.
I started. You know what? I got to be honest with you, man. You know,
I know you're busy.
I am busy. I read a little bit of it. I read a little bit
That's
of it,
all
but
I
not
need.
but not enough to be quizzed on.
No,
I'm
no, no.
embarrassed right now.
No, no. I'm glad you did read something because you know what's the funny thing? About 80% of people who have this book don't read it. Can you believe that?
Wow. So listen, what I want to do is I'm going to give a call-in number in case you want to know about some of the financial stuff that we're going to be talking about, insurance and such. The call-in number is 973-457-8000. This is Splash Radio, the Eric Dawson Radio Show, and I'm on with KEYON Corniffe.
Yes.
There he is. Come on.
And my man Raymond Moore.
There's Raymond Moore. Can you see it? We got the light in the
No,
background.
no way.
You know, it almost looks like some
A
religious
halo,
stuff.
a halo.
Oh, dude, it almost looks like some religious stuff. We need that AAOB. We're gonna need that. We need
Some holy music in the
some holy
back.
music to deal with that.
So, you guys don't understand. You see, I'm reading from the book. This is on page 31. How you buy life insurance. Why is it important that you understand the concept of how to buy life insurance?
All right, so we already have a person that says they need a copy of the book. So how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna get folks copies?
What I'll do is I'll go underneath here
Uh-huh.
and I'll check all the person that leave their
Hey,
email
what's
address.
going on, Mike Dixon?
If you leave your email address, I'll make sure you get a copy.
All right. So listen, guys, we are about financial awareness and financial literacy in the community, and KEYON is going to get us there.
Yes.
The brother's going to get us there. So I'm sorry, I'm going to let you keep talking about insurance.
The thing that I want to talk about is the dime method, right? It says the dime method is used to calculate how much insurance you need. You got to calculate your debt, your income, and also your investments. Also, you need to calculate your mortgage and education, right? So whatever debt you have or whatever investments you have, plus your mortgage and education is how you calculate how much you need. Let's just say you had $50,000 in debt. Then you had an investment that's worth about $100,000. And on top of that, you have a mortgage that's about $300,000, and your education there is about another $50,000. What you do is add up all of that, and that's how much coverage you would need. So sometimes most of us walk around underinsured if we even have insurance. And some of us is not even insurable or understand how much we have.
So I want to ask you a question. So if any of the people who are listening to this show want to have an understanding of if they are underinsured, or is it possible to have too much insurance?
Yes.
Okay. So is there any way that we can, folks wanted to have an what would you call it, evaluation or
A review.
a review?
Yeah.
So why don't you give them your information?
If you guys would love to get a free financial review or a checkup, you can call me at 973-873-5977. Once again, my number is 973-873-5977. It is. All it takes, literally, is about 15 to 20 minutes to do a full financial review.
Hey, this is Eric Dawson. This is the Eric Dawson Show. Listen, we're bridging the gap. We're trying to bring information that is important to you, important to our community. We all understand, and I talk about it a lot, that one of the issues is financial literacy. And so we're trying to get folks more financially literate. The call-in number here, the radio station, in case you have a question, is 973-457-8000. Again, it's 973-457-8000/radio.
Yeah, someone, you guys need to call in because this is the time where you can get your answers for all your questions. It's understand that you have access now.
Okay, wait, we got a question. So Mark says, and maybe you can go into greater depth. He says, what about whole life versus term life insurance? So give a, let's talk about that.
Once again, I'll read from the book, right? Term insurance, right? Term insurance come in different periods. There's either 10, there's either 20, 25, and 35 in some companies, right? So here's the way how that works versus whole life. Whole life and term are two different things, but they're all insurance. Now, term, if you're 20 years old, I use an example. If you're 20 years old and you get a 30-year term, 50, that term is up, right? Now you invested, say your monthly premium was $50 a month for that, whatever coverage it is. Now you think about that. Over 30 years, spending $50 a year on that, $50 a month is what, $600 a year. 30, that's how much money you have wasted in a term. But what if you were able to get a whole life for the same amount, and that whole life will cover you up until age 100, doesn't require you to re-qualify for another term in this. But yet still your premium will never change as you get older. So what's the difference? And why is it important to understand this? Term might be cheap now, but it will get expensive later because of your age. The cost of insurance goes up based upon one's age. For a whole life or a universal life, you would then be able to stay at the same premium from whatever age you started all the way past 100 and 100 in a whole life. I personally don't like whole life because I don't think the cash value grew strong enough in it. And if you really want to know some magical stuff, something called, I can't even speak on that because of rules and regulations. But but if you would love to learn.
So wait a minute, are you saying that you can't speak on it on the show? Or you?
I can't speak on it on the show, but I can speak on it if you love to call 973-873-5977. But what I could tell you is this. There's a product out there that is way better than whole life and term put together.
All right. So listen, guys, I give Keyon a call and find that information out. So listen, and again, my biggest pet peeve is the fact that we all know that we're going to die.
Right.
That's just the truth. My father used to say, no one's getting out of here alive. And that's the truth. Hey, OB, we got a call coming in. OB's trying to eat over there. All right, so we're going to take this call and see if we can answer the question. Caller? Hello, caller?
Hello.
Yep, you're going to have to turn your radio down or however you listen. I can hear feedback.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Is that better?
That's much better. You have a question?
I think that your show is awesome.
Oh, appreciate that.
I have a question for Keyon Corniffe.
Okay.
I'm in my mid-50s. Kids are a bit older.
I'm going to ask you to hold on one second. Hey, OB, is there any way for the listeners who are listening to, because I can hear her question, and I'm going to try to repeat it once she gives it, but is there any way for the listeners to hear the question? Or do I have to just repeat it? Do you understand what I'm saying? See, I can hear her talking to me through my headphones, but the people who are listening on live, is there a way for them to hear this? Okay, go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry. Ask your question now.
Okay, thank you. It's for Keyon. I'm in my mid-50s and my kids are out of college now. Do I really need to have insurance?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. She said there are kids out of college now, and does she need to have insurance?
Yes. And before I ask you this, I'm gonna ask you another question, miss. Did you pay off all your mortgage?
No.
No?
Oh, she said she did not pay off her mortgage.
And on top of that, another question for you. Did you, by any chance, co-sign for anything as far as outstanding loans or any debt?
My kid's college education, I'm responsible for that too.
Okay, so what I would tell you is this. Remember we talked about the dime method, right? We got to calculate how much debt you have, what's the investment that you have currently right now, how much is in it, calculate your how much mortgage you have left, plus if you had any educational debt. That's how we'll calculate how much insurance that you do need. Because in this state, if you do die, you will leave behind debt trails for your family to either inherit or then take upon if that was transferred through a trust or whichever way that behind. So yes, I would actually say that you do need insurance.
Did he answer your question? Hey, you're more than welcome. Hey, thanks for listening in. So, hey, listen, let's take one of those drops that we do, OB. Come on now, I'll put OB to work. Hey, and so for those of you, because OB, people inbox me all the time and they say, what does OB look like? So I'm going to turn the camera around. Where's OB? Hey! Yeah, OB is. All right. All right. So, that was a great question.
Yeah.
A really, really great question. So keep going, man.
So the other thing that I want to talk about, we were talking about the buy term investor difference, right?
Correct.
And what I'm going to do is let you guys understand that a little bit more. Finance 101 book. It says buy term investor difference. It says many people say.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Because I want to try to get these when we get them. And say what you said.
Yeah.
But here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I moved my money to a black-owned bank. Want to keep black. Oh, well, thank you. I'm sorry. It was just a comment that she moved her money to a black-owned bank.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm all for that. So, I'm gonna get
Hey, no, listen, man. Hey, listen. I'm unashamedly, promoting minority businesses, which is why, you and I connected. And I have you here.
Yes.
So while we do have you here, before you do that, give me a number again, man. We're gonna keep giving it so people can write it down.
You can
New
give me a
people
call.
signing in.
You can give me a call at 973-873-5977. Once again, 973-873-5977. You can call me anytime from 7 a.m. all the way back to 12 a.m. in the morning. That was my operating time that you can call me.
Beautiful. All right. Continue.
So buy term investor difference. It says here in the book, many people say, why bother with cash value life, right? It says, especially whole life, when you could use a strategy such as buy term and invest the difference. It questions why you should pay for an example of $1,000 a year for a whole life when you could just pay $200 for a term insurance on the same coverage. You could invest the difference, which will be the $800, into another investment such as a mutual fund to get better potential rate of return. It also says, you can invest the money and pay for the higher cost of insurance. My thing is this. Here's where they're going to break it down for you even more. When you buy something that is cheap and say it will cost you $100, instead of you spending $100, the person gave you a bargain and said, hey, you can spend $20 and save your $80, right? Now they're going to tell you that you saved the $80. You, as a person, as a human being, you're going to be like, I'm not investing that $80. That's my $80. I can go buy shoes down the street, right? We forgot all about the investment part, right? We just look at it like, all right, we got the same amount of coverage for cheaper versus that guy over there. I got $80 in my pocket. Now I'm going to spend $80 because we're not disciplined enough to save $80.
All right. So there are two questions here. One person wants to get information about black owned insurance company. So if you have a list of, that would be helpful. And then the second question is, why are you using debt to calculate insurance value when the beneficiary isn't obligated to use the insurance money?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, now I'm about to put in the work.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Here we go.
Why? Why should you? Now, here's the real question to you. Do you know, did you know that you cannot get rid of that student loan? That it's either going to come to you as the Ken or someone else amongst that line that she co-signed upon. So why not have insurance in place to take care of that debt if you know it can't get rid of it? So you just want to walk around and collect all debt. You see grandma pass or your mom pass away or dad pass away, and you're going to take on all of that of losing that person? Why not have insurance in place to take care of that, so that way you never have to deal with the loss on top of that? See, it's very important that you understand that insurance is not about the beneficiary either. The company have fooled you guys, fooled us, that we should buy insurance based upon leaving it for someone else. Now let's think about it. It's called life insurance, right?
Sorry, guys.
This thing is called life insurance. It didn't call death insurance. It didn't call leave it for my grandma insurance or leave it for my kids insurance. It's called life. So life means ones that's living. So why should you buy something that could only benefit people after you leave? Why not have a vehicle where you could get the best of both worlds? Do you understand that you could have your cake and eat it too if you properly structure it? That means you could have living benefits and still have benefits that go towards after you pass.
So I've got a question for you. Is there a minimum life insurance that you believe folks should have? And then remember I asked you, I said, is there too much life insurance? So what's the minimum life insurance that you think folks should carry?
I think if you can't afford like a term, or you can't afford, let's say, whole life or index universal life, I think the minimum a one should have is at least final expense. At least have something that could bury without putting the burden where you go on the GoFundMe. Go get a funeral expense insurance. Just like you insure your car when it breaks, you insure the phone if it breaks, your lifespan if you die. The minimum. That's the minimum. Funeral expenses.
I think that that's a considerate thing to do. I mean, I'm just being, truthful.
Yeah.
That you go and spend all of your money while you're alive, and then you die, and you leave people to scramble around trying to figure out how to bury you. The call-in number again is 973-457-8000. This is the Eric Dawson Show, and I'm here with KEYON Corniffe. So, is there something else you want to chat about?
Yeah, I actually.
What about that guy in the back there?
Yeah, I want to give my man Raymond.
Raymond.
He has an actual real life story that happened with his dad before he passed away. That I want him to just share this and show you the power of life insurance while you're alive. Raymond, I'll just step up real quick and share with him a little bit.
All right, no problem. All right, we got two mics, but we're gonna try to make this work. We're gonna get Raymond on the mic, and Raymond's gonna talk about this thing, guys. Here we go.
Hey, how you doing, guys? My name is Raymond Ward. Thank you for having me here today. I've experienced with this because my father was a great man. He used to work for the New York State, and his mission in life was to get the youth out the city, no matter what challenges they had off the street, for a positive difference. Now, I love my dad just like anybody other family out there, and he made a major impact. So the man I am today, to help people and to help our youth, and just to empower our community as a whole, because not a lot of people out there are doing it. But I definitely love my dad each and every day. And what was crazy is that over time he developed lymphoma and non-Hodgkin cancer. And for you guys who don't know what that is, it attacks the lymph nodes, so it slowly degenerates you over time. And I literally took my dad to the hospital from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night for 6 months out the year. and that was a challenging experience. I think out there ever had people with cancer, you know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, one thing my dad had was life insurance. Offers that protection, that legacy protection, so one doesn't have to worry about any type of concerns, whether it's debt, different obligations, different things you have to pay for over time, because it leaves a lasting legacy. Because of life insurance, myself, my mom, and the family was able to pay off different things that happened in our life. We had about 6 months to a year of savings because of that. And one thing that's very, very key and important that a lot of people don't know is that the life insurance is tax free. Government didn't even touch it. It's like here you go, here's a gift from different companies as well. So it's very, very key and very, very important that life insurance protection is there, and equating to how much is my partner talked about with the die method, because we definitely utilize the die method within our life as well and pay for all the different expenses, and we really have anything to worry about. So life insurance is not just about, oh, what am I going to do with it? No, it's for building that legacy to relieve the burden on families. Thank you.
All right, so I just got a note passed to me. OB said that Lady B and Layla. So for all of you, I usually kick the mic over on Mondays to Lady B and Layla to do What's Your Take. Have to cork that bottle of wine and wait till next Monday. But hey, listen, I don't know if you guys have ever heard Lady B and Layla, man. Let's see. Well, first, I want to say that I got a 4-year-old listening to me, my man Makai. So I can't talk about what Lady B and Layla talk about on the show, but say it's he'd have to plug his ears up. He wouldn't bear to listen to it, man. It's definitely. I mean, we're on FM radio, so they
They go in.
man. It's crazy. I turned it on one time, and they do the live feed and everything. This is my first time doing this live feed, but they do live feed, man, and they were twerking in here. I had to turn it on. I got a 15-year-old son at home. I said, I can't have, he said, Papa, what are you looking at? Just have turned on. But we will have Countryman filling in, playing some of the hottest tunes. So make sure the show is done. You all stay tuned to Countryman. So
Yes.
Back to, you want to take one of those funky drops?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're going to take it.
News and information. Only Eric can give it to you like this. It's the Eric Dawson Radio Show on Splash.
All right, so we're back, and I'm back with KEYON. That's him right there.
Yes.
And we're talking finance and literacy and all things that we need to do. We need to. What else? There was another question that I wanted. A common sense thing. Oh, we were talking before about how much money people. You have folks who are living paycheck to paycheck, right? And everybody says that, and so they say, "Well, I can't save anything. I can't." So you're talking about this life insurance. So I don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying $25 a week, right? Yeah. So what would happen if we half that? So instead of $25 a week, if it was $12.15 a week, so you could take the other $12.50 and do what you want to do with. What could they do with $12.50?
You can still do a lot. All you gotta do is see if you qualify. That's the most important part. See, it's not really so much about how rich can you get based upon what you save. It's realistically about see if you qualify. That's the hardest part. Qualification. Just like getting into college, you gotta qualify. Just like if you gotta try for the league, you have to qualify. Everything that you have to qualify for. That's why we always say there's nothing that's promised to you right now. It's all about qualifications. So any guy that come in your house and talk about insurance and all that type of stuff, trust me, he can't guarantee you that you're going to get this, regardless.
All right, stop for a second. I want to cut. I want to ask you this question.
Yes.
This came through. Insurance people got a bad rap. Right? They got a really bad rap. Snake oil salesmen. You get all kinds of stuff. How does a person find out if they, as they're trying to do this, they've never done it before? Right. How do they make sure that they have a good insurance person? I mean, how do they make sure they're not getting ripped off? I guess is the question.
You asked the best question today. The first thing you gotta look at, Look and see if he cares about your needs. Find out. You got to pay attention to what the questions he's asking you. Things and not trying to find out what is it that you need, what is it that you're concerned about, what are your future goals, your dreams, what is it that your family would like to have as a legacy, and that person is just there to make a sale. That's one of the things. That's why I never like to say I'm in the insurance business, because I'm not.
So here's a person, and this is part of what I'm talking about. So this person, Nicholas Lash, says people can't pay their effing Netflix bill. Well, they shouldn't have a Netflix.
Exactly. That's
See,
get rid of that.
Hey, Nicholas,
$7.99 right here.
I want Nicholas to call in. The calling number is 973-457-8000. Call in, Nicholas, because that's insane that you even put that. People shouldn't have a Netflix.
That's my point.
You just made Keon's point. If they got a net, oh, are you kidding me? All right, go ahead, man. This is crazy.
Point proven. See, what you guys have is priorities.
Dude, I can't believe that somebody actually, it's one thing when it's one thing when you have like a Tourette moment and it comes out of your head, right? But when you actually take the time to write that down and then you hit the send button, and then you see, you not only wrote it down, but then you hit the send button, like that was okay to put down there. That's insane. Did you listen to the rest of the show?
You see, that's our problem. We have too much. We have a consumer disease about us, and I would love to say it's a black thing, but it's not. It's a everybody thing, because I know white people who does it. As a matter of fact, I can't say Asians. They're very disciplined. I have to say that about most Asian people, especially the Filipinos. They're very disciplined when it comes to saving. So what we need to get better at is become.
Oh, I know what I want to ask you.
Aggressive.
Now that you said that,
Mhm.
somebody said to me, I posted something about poverty.
Right.
On my page, right? And inherit poverty.
Yes, you can.
Right? And I said, sure you can. It's habits that you're really inheriting.
Right.
It's habits. I mean, you're inheriting whatever debt and all that stuff, but outside that, you're inheriting habits.
Right. And you know what's so true about that? Because I come from a mother. My mother's a single mom, and she's a aggressive saver. I watched this lady come to this country with $20 in her pocket, and my mother was the first person to show me what $50,000 in cash looked like. And she said, "Feel this, son. That's what 50,000 feels like." That's pretty awesome. And she saved every penny. My mother worked 3 jobs and never drive. To this day, my mother don't drive. And yet still she owned 3 houses and still have a house back home. So about 4 houses in total.
All right. See, I got it, and I want you to call in. I mean, this is Nicholas again. So Nicholas isn't calling in. He just wants the post. So he says, insert any other bill. But Nicholas, please call in.
Yeah, let's talk about it, Nicholas. Call in.
8000. Call in. 973-457-8000. You have to type. You call in.
Call
You
in.
can have a conversation. Call in, Nicholas. Come on. You can do it.
I want you to call it, because let's talk about it, because it's very important that I hope Netflix and don't have
well,
insurance.
he's saying any other bill, but the idea is that you should be looking at priorities, right?
Right.
You're looking at limited bills. Now, so if you're saying to me that the person is doing everything that they can, see, because we go down the list, maybe instead of $50 sneakers, maybe you go with $25 sneakers instead of and look, I'm going to be real honest with you, and you don't have to believe me. You can ask any of my siblings. Where my parents we were struggling like anybody else, and we would go to the store. This is when milk was really high. I'm old. I'm 53, so this is back in the late 70s. And so my dad was trying to cut corners, so he would buy a gallon of milk, right? And then he got another container, and then he got that carnation powdered milk, which was nasty. And first he tried to just do it straight, so just the water in that carnation. It was horrible. So what he did was he mixed it with milk so it was more palatable, but that's what we had to do. So we figured out how to cut bills. So what are you talking about, Nicholas? Come on. See, we can't have it. We have to get out of the excuse business, and we have to get in the business of trying to find solutions to the problems instead of being problem finders.
And it's very true, because many people don't understand that it's so simple. It's so simple. You know, we're so busy trying to keep up with the Jones. We're sitting here buying BMWs when we really should be driving a Honda Accord. Jordans, when it's okay, you should probably buy some Walmart shoes. You know, is you see, it's so much time. And I learned this from one of my great mentors. He said, so many people try to impress people buying different things, and most of those people don't even care about what you're wearing. They don't even care. So it's the same thing. If you have all your things in order, all your things in line, you will not miss the opportunity to do that. So it's important that you understand that you must have a vision. And it's because the lack of vision, the lack of direction, or the lack of goals is the reason why we fall short when it comes down to understanding what we're talking about today.
All right, we're going to take a commercial, and when we come back, we're going to continue this discussion.
Mark, I represent for Splash Radio. Mother. Give me the man. Yeah, Splash Radio. Mark. Man. Splash Radio. 94.3. Ready. Dance hall. Soca.
Where do you want to go?
Hip hop and R&B. African. Disco. Oldies but goodies.
Mr. Local, shove it up. Yo, the best station on the planet.
Splash Radio 94.3, New Jersey.
Annual back to school drive brought to you by Missions Foundation Inc. Wayne DJ Naturalists and Champions in action on Sunday, August the 21st to be held at 1 Civic Square, Irvington, New Jersey, in front of the Irvington Mayor's office from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're giving away free school supplies. Everything is free. Music by Roadback Radio DJs, Desperado Family, GTI Fight, Empire International, Trinity 5, Paper Chasers, and some provided by Black Shadow Store. It's hosted by Amina and Aishida. And you will be also entertained by the hip-hop magician, Uncle Mac and Bob Trip on Sunday, August the 21st, 1 Civic Square, Irvington, New Jersey.
Make sure you guys tune in every
And this
week.
event is sponsored by
Make sure
Irvington
you guys
Mayor
always
Tony
listen to
Scott
Eric
and the
Dawson. This
Essex
man
County
knows his
Police
stuff.
for info and sponsorship. Contact Michelle.
Pick it up here.
578-3237. Stop by Five Below from June 25th and
Hello, this is Eric Dawson, the Eric Dawson Show.
School Drive. The ET started from the Church of
Hey, V, you got a question?
Terrace in Orange, New Jersey. Invited you to join me October 1st at 7
No, hold
p.m.
on, one for you on.
Gospel Praise Gospel Concert featuring the dynamic gospel recording artist Juan Starling, the multi-stellar award winners.
It's hit my direction.
And Moret Brown Clark at the West Orange High School, 5140 Drive, West Orange, New Jersey. Get your early bird tickets today at orangenjsba.org or call 973-678-1951.
We know that when it comes to your vehicle maintenance, you've got a lot of options. In fact, with so many options, it can be challenging sometimes to find a reliable and affordable auto mechanic. But that's where we come in, Belmont Motor Works, with a commitment to providing our customers with honest, quality service at reasonable prices. Belmont Motor Works has one of the most modern, state-of-the-art automotive service and repair facility in the entire state of New Jersey. Our technology, education, and expertise will provide you with the best car care service imaginable. For an appointment, dial 973-268-8199. Right now, get a check engine light diagnostic, an oil change or tune-up, brakes, or just a performance upgrade. Belmont Motor Works got it covered. We're your one-stop shop, the European specialist, specializing in BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, all luxury and high-performance vehicles. 973-268-8199. We also install engines, transmissions, starters, alternators, timing belts, water pumps, and so much more. Trust the trusted Belmont Motor Works, conveniently located at 531 Central Avenue in Newark, New Jersey, and find us on the web at www.belmontmotorworks.com.
You're listening to the Eric Dawson Radio Show on 3 FM.
Before we got a call, Veronica, I'm going to ask you to hold. So this is Mark's question.
Yes.
He said you can also take out a small term life policy, your alma mater, a church or other favorite charity. Do you advise your clients about life insurance and philanthropy?
All right. See, I have mixed feelings when it comes down to questions like that. And my clients, I'm not worried about telling about their church. I'm not worried about telling about their cousin. All I'm worried about is them, their family, their goals, their dreams, whatever they want to do. I am not going to sit here and direct any one of my clients in that. No, not at all. I don't advise nobody to do that. I focus on them. If they want to do that, that's what they're going to tell me. I don't put them in a direction of what they should do. I just find out what they want to do and I bring it to life.
All right, so Farrakhan Suave asked what we were looking at. We were looking at that question, brother, just trying to get that answer. So we're going to take the caller now. Veronica, are you there? Oh, let's play it so they can hear. Okay, go ahead. Wait 1 second. Oh, B, we need to be able to hear so they can hear. Okay, go ahead. Veronica, go ahead.
I just calling to say that you have to have your priorities in order. People complain about not being able to purchase life insurance, priorities in order. And a lot of times when we're struggling in life, and we all have been there, everybody has had a struggle. But a lot of times when we get to that point where we're struggling, people tend to think it's always going to be this way. It's going to be in this situation instead of looking at this is my situation right now. I'm not always going to be this way. So it's very important. Like I told you before, I have life insurance on myself and all my children. And that is something I strongly believe in, and I strongly believe in prioritizing. Like I may not be able to buy a certain pair of sneakers or certain, if I have to go without doing my hair, getting pedicures or whatever, the extras that I do. If I had to go not doing all those things just to have the basic needs of what I need to have, then that's what I'm going to do. And I think and I don't care what your race is because they all experience the same thing. We do that all just to say prioritizing what we really need, but all too often we want to go out there, we want to shop, we want to go party, we want to go do this, and then sit back and complain, oh, I don't have enough to do this, I don't have enough to do that. Well, what you do all those weekends, you was out partying. Some people I see on Facebook, they partying every weekend.
So true.
But and complaining about the struggle was real. Seriously? I can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to give Ian asked for the number. The caller number is 973-457-8000, Ian, if you'd like to call in and weigh in. I don't know if Veronica was done, but I want to get that question in. Veronica, if you have another question, we're going to ask you to hold on, but we're going to try to take Ian's phone call right now. If you're done. Okay, thank you.
Keep doing the good work.
All right, come on, let's bring Ian on. Hello, this is the Eric Dawson Radio Show. I'm here with KEYON CORNIFFE. Ian?
Hey, Eric. Mark.
Oh, okay. All right, Mark. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Oh, wait a second. Let's bring him on so he could hear. Hold on. We got another call coming in. Hold on, Mark. We're just gonna ask that second caller to hold on. So let's bring Mark's question on so that everybody can hear it. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to respond to his answer about my question related to philanthropy and life insurance. So, and his response was he wouldn't advise folks to do that. And it was more about, their dreams and wishes and desires. And the only reason I asked that is that they don't have a lot now, but we really want to do something impactful for, any, not-for-profit, their church, their alma mater, a charity of their choice. A small life insurance policy that and actually have that charity be the beneficiary. They can actually make a gift for the premium, and the charity would actually pay the premium, and that they can actually have that as a tax deduction, and it's a win-win. I wasn't saying that in lieu of all the other things that folks need to take care of with life insurance. But if there are folks who are really interested in leaving that as part of their legacy, that was sort of the spirit in which I asked that question.
Oh, that's absolutely right. You can do that. Because, they always say, Mark, body is almost like the best investment to make an investment in, right? Because you can do that. It's just a matter of I thought, see, the question is good that you called. I appreciate you calling in, brother. And yes, people can set up that in any way. That's what I love about life insurance. It's so flexible. You could do almost anything with it if it's set up properly. And you are right about the tax write-off and all those different advantages that it comes with it as well. So you're pretty much right on.
Did you have another question? That was beautiful. Thank you for calling. Thank you. I think we have another caller. I hope. Okay, so we're going to take this other caller. Hello, caller. Caller. I'm well. Your name? Hey, Ian. Okay, we're going to bring you live so you can ask your question. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ian.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Do you have a question?
So this type of program, Eric. And you've always had quality stuff, so I wanted to commend you on that. But yes, I do have. I would like to get this for whatever reason. I guess I've been writing down the wrong number for this brother Keyon.
Yes.
That's been here. I do want to get that again. And the other thing is, I wanted to ask, does this gentleman have his own insurance company? Because I'm looking, I want to be consistent, just like I move my money to City National, which is a black-owned bank in New Jersey. I'm looking to preferably deal with black-owned insurance companies.
Hello?
Yep, you can go ahead and talk. He can hear.
Yes, Ian. As far as black-owned insurance companies, I would have to take a look in. And what I would love to do is give you my number where you could text me, and I could do some research and find it as well. Because I do run a brokerage and a financial center of my own as well that provides solutions. But what I would have to do is find out who are the black-owned insurance companies out there, and I could get you some of that information. So my number is 973-873-5977. And all I could do is research and see what I find, and that way I could get the information to you.
Tell everybody who's watching, invite all their other friends to come in and watch this. This is very good programming.
Well, we're gonna have Keyon on every Monday at this time, and we'll be posting on my page and on his page what the subjects are going to be. And the other thing that would be helpful is have things that you would like us to talk about, subject matter that you think is important. By all means, let us know, and we'll make sure that we incorporate that as well. Thank you for listening.
So,
all right, man. You got this audience for another 11 minutes, brother.
Well, well, what I wanted to talk about too is the concierge services that come with final expenses and why it's important to have that. Because I was able to witness my uncle that passed away recently back home. Actually, my grandmother passed away too earlier this year, and I've watched what concierge service really means. To see him passing, and then they're getting the phone call they gave the phone call to the company, letting them know he passed. They call back and say it's okay, we'll take care of everything. They took care of the burial, the site, the church, everything. All we literally had to do was just show up. That's what concierge service that comes with most, not all of them, but some of them that comes with that concierge service in a final expense. And the fact that with a concierge service like that or final expenses, you don't need to do a medical checkup. So you could be in some of the worst health situations and could qualify. So it doesn't require you to take a medical in order to get qualified for some of these insurance products that's out there. And it's very important that people understand this. You see, insurance is such a very diverse community. And if you don't understand it, you will fall for something you didn't want to buy.
So now here's a question that came in from Nicholas. I wish you'd call in, Nicholas. He says, are you talking that you own the policy or the company? Don't some insurance companies sell the policy off like they do debt?
Sell the policy off.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Nicholas, again, if you could call in and clarify. I don't know. Oh, if you can call in and clarify your your question, we'll be happy to answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some more
We need more.
clarification on that.
Again, the number is 973-457-8000.
Yeah, because that's a very straightforward question. It wasn't really with more substance. I need more information on that, Nicholas. Call in. Let's talk about it. The thing that I want to touch on too is that a lot of people don't understand that life insurance actually could give you some of the highest rate of returns that you could get. Plus, it gives you a floor, and some of them is designed properly. It gives you a floor where it's like it's mirroring the S&P 500, where you can get high interest in it.
Uh-oh, I think we actually have Nicholas that called in. This is wonderful. Hello, this is Eric Dawson, the Eric Dawson Show. Is this Nicholas? Yay! What's going on? Hey, Nicholas, people saying call, Nicholas, call. All right, we're going to put you on live so you can ask a question. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hey, so I know what Ian was asking about it being like a black-owned company as far as for insurance, and I just know, I mean, I've been in the financial industry, you know, off and on over the years, and I recollect I never got into insurance, but I do recollect people talking about insurance companies. Like if you go into State Farm or if you went into one of these, the ability to, like, you know, like whenever that guy either goes under or something happens, selling off that insurance to another insurance company. What I'm saying is Ian asking about the policy being owned, like, because who owns the policy sometimes is different than the person writing the policy.
Got it.
So, oh, are you talking about the owner of the policy?
Doesn't necessarily own the policy. So what I'm saying is, especially when you get into some of these fly-by-night companies that open up, you know, like from different books. I thought. I mean, maybe I'm mistaken, but I mean, this is, you know, like I said, I wasn't in the insurance business at all. So I mean, this is just picked up along the way, I guess. Which makes an ass out of me, I guess. But.
All right, so just so I get an understanding, I think what you're asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're asking if, say, an insurance agent was to go write business saying that they're that company, but realistically, they don't work for the company, they just write in the business for the company?
Contractor or has the ability to write for multiple companies, for that matter.
Okay, yeah, so that person will be what's called an independent contractor for the company, which makes him a broker, a brokerage, for insurance brokerage.
What I'm talking about is Ian. I mean, I know Ian a little bit, and I mean, we talk, and I have an understanding. What I think he's wanting to make sure is that his money ends up in the black community, as far as keeping it. You know what I mean? Like, so the person that owns the actual insurance company itself. You know what I mean? I think that was kind of, and so I was just trying to clarify what, you know, if there are, you know, any of those that we can look out for, that we can, you know what I mean, kind of promote or whatever, if there are an end user, you know what I mean, from the standpoint of ones that actually make the policy and everything else, and are the ones paying out the policy or whatnot, and you know, any of that stuff.
Does that make sense to you? I mean, you can talk to them offline.
Yes. I know exactly where he's trying to go.
Okay.
And I understand exactly what you're saying, because yes, that could be a big concern for many people that just want to stay within their culture, and that's very important. And yeah, it's a good way to research.
You know, places and people that maybe haven't had the ability to be propped up, you know, within our communities, you know, and making sure that the money stays within, you know, the circle that we feel comfortable with, no matter if it's, bids. I mean, you know, Ian knows I'm not black, so I mean, I'm asking because I'm curious, and I'm wanting to know more. So, you know what I mean? Like this is, to me, this isn't an issue of race as much as it is just making sure that our money stays in the hands of people we actually trust and care about and want to do business with.
All right. So let's
completely sense, and that's absolutely correct. And it is very important that people have a diverse options in that case. So yes, that's a real good question. And that's something that I'm going to look into and do some research upon.
So just check us out.
I'll start checking out the show as well. It's on Mondays, or
It's on every Monday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. I'll be with KEYON. Nope. Yep. You can make a statement. Yep.
all right. I just wanted to defend my my earlier thing. As far, I mean, I'm with you. I was in the car business for almost 8 years. I was in the mortgage industry for 4 years. I saw firsthand people doing things the most irresponsible ways and hoping that they could just keep doing it. So, so as far as Netflix and all of that, that was just me making a point. It wasn't me necessarily defending a point. It's me trying to have understanding about what the people around us in these, you know, in these positions are actually trying to do, and that's, you know, make certain that people are working 6, 7 days a week, and making sure that people are working 10, 12 hours a day, making sure that people don't have time to rest or have time for their families and stuff like that by inundating them little $45 bills, $70 bill, $80 bills, $15 bills. You know what I mean? And ultimately, all it does is actually separate us from our families and our communities that much more. And so I guess my point wasn't necessarily defending Netflix or people using Netflix. It was just saying if people can't even pay their damn Netflix, then I mean we have to solve some problems before we start having an expectation of people. You know, like, I mean, I heard a little bit of your guest story, and I love that, you know, that he was able to find a way out through the adversity, and that his mom had 3 jobs and this and that. But unfortunately, not everybody is given that same role or that same ability or that same mindset or that same drive. And so as a community, it's our job to look out for everyone, not just, you know what I mean, not just the people that we view to always be, you know, the workers or this or that. We have to realize that people are faced with situations that they came into, you know, by no other thing than just being born into it. And unfortunately, we have a lot of things to fix. To me, before I have to, you know, start worrying about insurance and this and that for people from my end. I mean, I'm an activist, so I mean, you know, that's a little different. But that kind of clears up what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, man. Please listen, call back often. We got one more question. I'm gonna give you this, and it's for Mark. He says,
yes.
You saw it?
Yeah. Should children have life insurance?
That's absolutely correct.
Man, what an awesome question.
And just so you know,
yes, I'm watching it.
When that blue number says 27 seconds, that's when we gotta be done.
All right. So answer your question real quick, Mark. Yes, that's the most important time to get them insurance, because you can get them a lot of coverage for very cheap at a very young age. So yes, that's the most important time to get your kids insurance, and they will thank you for it when they're 50 years old, and they might have about 50 to 100, if not $300,000 by that time. So yes, I highly recommend it. And if you would love to sit down and talk more about that, give me a call, 973-873-5977. If you can't reach me, you can definitely reach my partner in crime, Eric Dawson, and Raymond Moore. Raymond, give them your contact real quick.
How you doing, guys? Phone number 551-404-5441. Again, 551-404-5441.
Awesome.
Hey, guys, I want to thank you for coming in, man. This is real. We're bridging the gap. We're bringing information, guys. You said you want it. We're bringing it. Tell your friends. I'm here with KEYON. We got somebody else on the phone?
Oh, we got one more.
Oh, no, we're done. Yeah, I got KEYON. I'm looking at the clock. I got like 20 seconds. I got to be finished with this. But we're doing this let's take it real quick. Come on, guys. 10 seconds. Yep, go. Got a statement? Nope, they hung up. All right, so catch us next week. This is Eric. I'm out.
Has been the Eric Dawson Radio Show. Can't get enough of Eric? Tune in live at 5, Mondays through Wednesdays, and 10 o'clock a.m. Thursday and Friday morning.
Absolutely.
Flash Radio. Flash Radio, 94.3.
Have a good day,
Reggae. Dance Hall.
This is Eric.
hip hop and R&B, African.
Can you hold on 1 second?
Hello?
Hi, this is Janet Jackson.
We're bridging the gap. Seriously.
Yes, I'm also in New York, almost in every state.
Hey, Jersey, there's a new
So we have
restaurant in town. The
Hemsburg right
Caribbean
now,
and
we're
American
in
cuisine,
New
all
York
controlled by
area as
blacks.
well.
He's at master control and head chef, and he's bringing to you his own creative style of cooking in a unique way.
Yes.
With pit open fried grilled chicken, roasted, steamed, fried, or ground stew fish, jerk, curry, fried, or ground stew chicken. For the sandwich lovers, there's burger, chicken tag. They also have hot wings. For breakfast, they got the usual ackee and saltfish, fried bread, barley, cabbage and salt.